I got 10 years to fill a stadium, but only 2 minutes to fill your cranium. Humble the poet, signing in.
Starting getting real cold out here in Canada. Time to go somewhere else. The Spring Valley High incident was not racism. Whoa, Humble. Are you saying the girl deserved it? No, that's not what I'm saying. Whoa, Humble. Are you saying the officer was right? No, that's definitely not what I'm saying. So you're saying it's okay for the police? Shut up, my handsome friend. I'm saying that what happened at Spring Valley High was horrible, but it was not racism. But Humble, she was black and the officer was white. That means racism, right? Plus everyone on my Twitter is saying it's racism. Twitter wouldn't lie to me. Well, my handsome friend, as much as Twitter is a trusted source for nothing, it's important to point out that Twitter is just a huge pile of opinions. And there is a huge difference between opinions and facts. For starters, and I find myself saying this way too often, you don't get to make up your own facts. So when dummies on Twitter say stuff like, she must have done something to deserve it, or he wouldn't have done it if she was white, those are both simply opinions, and you should not take them as gospel. And just because somebody has a strong belief, it doesn't mean it's true. Now the officer that did it, he was fired. That's a fact. And he didn't get fired because he flipped her over on the desk. He got fired for the second move, where he dragged her and threw her across the room. The sheriff who fired him, Sheriff Leon Lott, said he did not follow proper training when he threw the student across the room. So we can infer is like that small word that still sounds big, that the sheriff is saying that had he simply flipped her over and arrested her then, he probably wouldn't have suffered any disciplinary action. That's an important fact to remember if you ever find yourself in a situation with a law enforcement officer. Like it or not, resisting arrest has consequences. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. Another lesser known fact is that Ben Fields, the officer who did the assault, has a black girlfriend. Both these facts help us infer that racism isn't something that was taken into consideration when dealing with this. Now, saying this wasn't a case of racism doesn't take away the fact that he did something wrong. And saying the girl was not listening to the officer and even hit him when he grabbed her still doesn't take away the fact that he did something wrong. But as somebody who used to be a teacher, I also understand that the adults at the school have something called local parentis. No, that doesn't mean crazy parents. It means they have the authority and responsibility in the school during school hours that any responsible parent would have over the child. And that makes things tricky because in some households, some parents think it's cool to beat their children's ass. So your teachers and principals have legal authority to do to you what your parents would do. So ask yourself, what would my mom do in that situation? And that's why things like this become debatable. I do want to give props to Sheriff Lott for looking at this objectively and asking himself, was this proper procedure? The officer had the option to try to de-escalate the situation and chose not to. And again, though these points have nothing to do with race, it's something important to understand. And I think a really healthy debate can come from it. And even though this does seem like an open shut case about a police officer overdoing his authority, it doesn't mean we can attach other causes to this and ride the wave. And that's exactly what people are doing. Why is this important to note? Because when you take one thing and make some shit up about it and turn it into another thing, you can actually cause some real damage. So if we just start calling every incident racism, we'll start to lose credibility. And people will not take us seriously when real racism actually does occur. Because even now, when real acts of racism are occurring, people still aren't taking us serious. But Humble, the news says that fuck the news. The news only has one goal: to keep your eyes glued to the screen so you can watch their commercials. They don't care about the truth, they don't care about privacy, or how their coverage is molding the minds of the people who's watching. They will throw anybody under the bus if it means they can sensationalize the story. A cop crossing the line isn't as juicy of a story as saying the cop was racist. And trust me, all they want is juicy stories. And they really don't care if they have to correct themselves later on, because less people are going to see that anyways. CNN is not your friend. And it's the same for many of these civil rights groups. They have a goal and you're only valuable to them if you help them further that goal. And in many cases, that goal involves power. So many of these groups that are jumping on top of this incident and making it about gender, race, power, regardless of how good the points that they try to make are, they're still full of shit. They simply want to see how far they can build their own personal brand and how much influence they can have. Just as power can corrupt a police officer, power can corrupt other organizations who also claim they're here to protect us. And you'll notice this when they jump on top of the stuff that gets the media coverage instead of the real problems on the grassroots level that need their attention, energy, and money. I'm happy this situation is getting public attention. I'm happy that there's multiple camera angles that caught the incident. And I'm very happy that it's becoming normal to film the police. Shoot the police. And even though the director of the FBI has come out and said that filming law enforcement is actually preventing them from doing their job, I'll wholeheartedly disagree. Filming law enforcement does not prevent law enforcement from enforcing the law. Filming law enforcement helps to prevent them from abusing their power. My parents come from Punjab, and in Punjab, when you see the police, you clutch your purse. This month alone, the Punjab police killed 2 peaceful protesters who were simply protesting inequities and disrespect that they were feeling from the state. And the state controls the news, so it's not even getting reported. So America, as bad as you think you got it, it can get much worse. And there are real issues of racism that do plague the law enforcement community. But jumping to conclusions and saying every single incident of racism isn't gonna help that cause. So all you hashtag activists out there, Twitter fingers ain't trigger fingers. You want real change, you're gonna have to get off your ass and make it happen. And one of the first steps is understanding the difference between a fact and an opinion. And understand that you should feel grateful that you can express your opinions without consequence, because that's not a luxury afforded to everybody in the world. Second, understand that power and responsibility go hand in hand. So if we keep painting ourselves as victims, then we're never empowering ourselves to make a difference. Making up stories of racism is counterproductive. Let's take some responsibility, and in that, take some power and build some bridges with the people in the community that we feel we have friction with. It's a small step that can have a big impact. Be very critical about what you see on the media, including the stuff I say. As my hero Malcolm X once said, the media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. And that's power, because they control the minds of the masses. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. If you like the things I say or the way I think, check out my book, Unlearn. Get yourself a copy at unlearn101.com. You can also get yourself a copy at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And you can also get the audiobook if you don't like reading or don't want to pay for shipping. You can get the audiobook at unlearnaudio.com, and I will read you the book in my sexy, mumbly voice. I'm really excited. The second book will be coming out very shortly, and in the next couple of weeks I'll be making some big announcements regarding it. Please share it with somebody that you care about or somebody that you don't. Much love. We still think that we should be entitled to certain things. Happiness, justice, peace, fairness. And that probably comes from the fact that we have a lot of free time on our hands because we're not busy trying to survive. Don't die today, don't die today. And no, surviving is not working your shit job to pay your phone bill. Surviving is walking for half a day just to get some clean drinking water.